Hey there, my name is Andrew Burnap, and tonight I'm here to share with you a few Twelfth Night themed poems, a few of my very favorite stories from my days on the Twelfth Night stage, and also an excerpt from the very first Twelfth Night that I ever got to be a part of when I was a very young, slightly mischievous treble, or as Mr. Kent would call us, turkeys. Our first poem tonight is called White Eyes by Mary Oliver. In winter, all the singing is in the tops of the trees, where the wind bird with its white eyes shoves and pushes among the branches. Like any of us, he wants to go to sleep, but he's restless. He has an idea, and slowly it unfolds from under his beating wings as long as he stays awake. But his big, round music, after all, is too breathy to last, so it's over. In the pine crown he makes his nest. He's done all he can. I don't know the name of this bird. I can only imagine his glittering beak tucked in a white wing, while the clouds, which he summoned from the north, which he has taught to be mild and silent, thicken and begin to fall into the world below like stars, or the feathers of some unimaginable bird that loves us, that is asleep now and silent, that has turned itself into snow. I don't know if many people know this, but the way that I came to the Chorus of Westerly was a little bit by happenstance. I needed a ride home from school in what I believe was the third grade, possibly the fourth grade. And my best friend, very best friend, named Austin Madden, who lived next to me, was usually my ride home. But on Mondays and Fridays, he would disappear in the afternoon for 3 hours, and I had no idea where he went. Well, that fateful day, because I didn't have a ride, my only option was to accompany my best friend to Westerly for what he referred to as chorus practice. I had no idea what he was talking about. So this burly, sort of very charming man allowed me to stay in this room, and I heard possibly the most majestic sounds I'd ever heard in my life, and I was pierced by it. So much so that I ran home and demanded that I be able to join the Chorus of Westerly with Austin and his father, Jeff Madden, as soon as possible. And I think it was just about the only demand that I made as a child that my parents ever actually listened to. I'm very grateful for that. Fast forward to the winter of that year, and I've told the story before, so forgive me if I am repeating myself, but it was the first 12th night of my lifetime, and the first 12th night that I had been a part of, and I was singing behind the action and saw all these kids on stage and thought, oh, I might want to do that one day. And lo and behold, this giant horse enters the hall, and I was scared out of my mind. So much so that, though I probably couldn't articulate this at the time, I felt in that moment, I want to do that. I want to be able to make people feel something as intensely as I just felt something. And I think that was the day that I got the bug. And then ever since then, I never looked back. 12th night, the experience of acting on stage, the experience of working on heightened language was the very foundation for the future of my life and the future of my career. And so that is how I got started with 12th night. The next piece I'll be reading is from my very first 12th night in 2001, where we meet Gawain, who has just been told by the Green Knight that he must journey to the Chapel Perilous for next year's morn. we find him just about to start for his journey. Blow, blow, thou winter wind. Slide thine icy fingers deep into the land. Boughs stoop and crack under their frozen burden of heavy snow. Life held captive dies not, but waits. I am time. Come with me. Leapfrog through the year. For Gawain, I drag slowly upon his fearful dreams of what must come. Hour by crucial hour, night by shadowed night. So the age-old pageant moves along, through spiky Mardi Gras, through sad-eyed Lent, to the joyous wonderment of spring, flowers bounding from the earth like song made visible, skylarks tracing sweetest patterns o'er the greening meadow grass, and yet Gawain waits. Summer then, with lazy hours, bees building their waxen honeycombs, and children, brown from the sun, splashing through the brook's bright ripples, flashing in the sun. Oh, lovely world. And yet Gawain anticipates. And then the great wheel turns once more. Autumn comes. The brilliant golden light casts its evening benediction across the land. The harvest ripens, the apples fall, and fill the barrows with ruddy succulents, crowding high. Trees stand bare against the sunset. Sculptures of black lace, wind crackling with the smell of ice. And yet, Gawain stays. And winter once more, by the world's law, draws nigh. At Michaelmas, the moon hangs wintry pale in sky, and Gawain girds him soon for travails yet to try. In the stablemen brush Gringolet's rich coat and ready him for his heavy journey. One of my favorite things to ever happen in Twelfth Night world was when everyone would gather before the last show on Sunday and sing the Hallelujah chorus. That was one of the greatest things that I can remember doing during the 12th night weeks each year. The first time it happened, I didn't know what was going on because I had never sung the Hallelujah chorus. But then I was lucky enough to be in the chorus when they did Handel's Messiah a long time ago. And after that, but I was a soprano at the time. So after that, as I started to grow and my voice changed, I still only knew the soprano part. So forgive me if you ever heard a baritone or bass singing the soprano part in between shows, the 6 and 8 on Sundays, the last few years of 12th night. My apologies. But that's all I knew. But I remember the community feeling and the camaraderie of everyone gathering and not even looking at the music and just bursting out the most majestic piece of choral music ever to be written. Amazing. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
I mean, you have 120 chorus members, you have a cast of 100, and all the crew jam into that one room to sing the Hallelujah chorus.
And he shall reign forever and ever.
I had so much trouble walking into that room to do that for the last time. And I know that there are great things that we're looking at ahead, but I certainly feel the sadness of putting that aside for a while because it's been such a part of my life for a long time.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
night thinking that, oh, I'll be fine, everything's fine, just kind of like brush it off. But then it got to the Hallelujah chorus, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm gonna make it through this. I got very emotional, and it took me by surprise.
So to walk in there and know that we're kind of doing this tradition of everybody, cast members, singers, people who have no experience singing at all, who just get together and belt out the Hallelujah chorus. It's such a moving experience, and it really brings everyone together for that one final hurrah of the last show. So it was a very poignant and moving experience for me to be able to lead that one last time.
Another major part of Twelfth Night for me was the heartbreak when it would end each year. Felt like an entire life was lived in 2 or 3 weeks. And starting with rehearsing the Boar's Head on the 26th of December to finishing the last show on Sunday and having a beautiful party in the Great Hall. It was a profound experience for me, and I know for my friends in the chorus. But I just remember feeling like I had to go back to a less magical life after Twelfth Night was done. It was magic. It was pure magic. And that feeling is still within me. That feeling of something greater than this earthly existence still permeates the air whenever I think of Twelfth Night. And I'm sure it will forever stay in my heart that way. I hope it does. And for that, I'm forever grateful. I don't know of anything else that's provided me with that. And so the shortest day came and the year died. And everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. How the long echoes sing the same delight. This shortest day. As promise wakens in the sleeping land, they carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends, and hope for peace. And now so do we, here, now, this year and every year. Welcome Yule.